This concept of the fastest sorting method, this is the proof that Americans are currently retarded. I have made a better sorting system. By now, 6 months have passed. No one replaced this. These are technically the best ones, right? This sounds familiar. I use something very similar. In order to achieve the world record speeds. And I don't know what to do with that information. I just have the fastest sorting system ever made. Not only it has that quality, it has the quality of being the easiest to understand and optimize sorting system. There's only one caveat. You have to go outside of the box. There's a box called array. You have to go outside of that and do lists instead. Although I like the Americans are retarded aspect instead, you know, so let's mix it all together and remind you guys that I did, in fact, invented a faster than this. Faster. Average case. You stupid. Worst case? Is that all you got, boy? Is that all you got? Consistent log n. Oh boy. String with known size. Okay. Now, the first retardation of Americans. My sword has to be somehow perfect. What? Like, everything has to go perfect with my swords. It's exactly like every other sword. What? But then, you know, it might be too perfect. So, your sword is actually that other sword that exists. And okay. We have begun the ultimate retardation. The gaslighting campaign of like, nah, bro, you haven't done anything. you know, your sword is actually just a bucket sword, and go fuck yourself, you know? By the way, I still want to call it Swift Swords. It's not a meme. It's just like, yeah, quick, swift. It's not that different. Ooh, interesting stuff over here. Everyone has their strengths, right? But people think they can't break these things. The worst cases, you know? Ah, look at that. Requires additional that's pretty bad, isn't it? That's one of the weaknesses that I have. And everyone will cry. I need more memory. It's over. I definitely needs a list. And a list is a lot of memory. So I do have this drawback. Okay. My sorting method is not perfect, apparently. Based on this requirement. I love that this is very, very well done. Like, AI actually organize information nicely. AI is now the new overlords that tells us how good my sorting method is. I just know these things by names. Merge sort is technically, like, super simple. But, it is hard to cram your heads with all this information. Poor for large unsorted data. The funny thing is, my sorting method uses Insertion Sort. And even though it says poor for large unsorted data, there's a big fucking caveat. What if I did partially sort the data? Insertion sorts might just become so much faster. If the data is nearly sorted, insertion sort or shell sort might be faster. I don't know what shell sort is. Let's take a look. But I would also call it comment section meltdown because no one wants to believe, no one wants to spread the news, no one wants to help me out and pitch in. It's just like, okay, I guess I can invent world-changing things and nothing's gonna happen. So much for the world functioning today. At least put me on the list of sorting methods. Come on, guys. So yeah, this is actually like really cool. because it definitely acknowledges that insertion sorts would be faster. And it is. It is faster than quick sorts. So, again, let's look at the shell sort. Again, when I look at all these sorting methods, my brain cannot comprehend what I'm looking at. It's too complicated. I think merge sort and insertion sort is like the simplest ones to understand. I mean, bubble sort was something I wanted to use, but insertion sort, which just happened to be like way better. Selection and then insertion does make the list. Alright, show me what is shell sort.
In the insertion variation on the insertion sort called.
By the way, the third retardation is everything was invented and theorem has prevented. Something like that. Americans have in the brain that, oh, we have already invented the fastest sorting methods. There's nothing we can possibly do anymore. Oopsie doopsie. Now again, I don't know how much of the rule breaker list is, but I think we can afford using this like extra technology. List is just a different kind of array. And it's actually quite exciting that we're using new technology to make a better sorting system. Again, I will re-reveal my sorting method.
And the idea.
And you can come to my Discord to discuss further. This is what AI has to say about my thing. Yes, if you don't compare, then you can become faster than quicksort. Yes, that's the idea, right? Ooh, it actually sounds very similar to mine.
And I'm going to have a.
The funny thing about list versus array sorting, arrays actually require extra maintenance. You are constantly swapping things just to get a proper arrangement. With the list, you can literally use the magical word insert. It just comes back. We can insert elements into the list, meaning that they don't conflict inside the array. You don't have to bump them into each other. You don't have to use the extra value to store. You have to actually always create an extra value, store, array value, then swap. Every swap requires insane amount of data changes. Yes, list requires some data changes, but you can insert elements. That changes everything, bro. So everyone is stuck in this mindset, in the array mindset, in like simplicity mindset of like, I feed the array and I get what I want. I would always recommend to use lists in most situations, especially now that we can sort them ridiculously fast.
A fixed width for my gap.
And list finally has a sorting method that actually is like very good. Where do I use it? I have this. There's 1,000 elements. It's all sorted by influence.
And the 5 pairs of numbers.
Wow, he gets gaps. Amazing.
3 is a smaller number and it's over on the wrong end, so we try to move.
Damn, he swapped them,
move it
guys.
Closer. 5 and the 9. Put those numbers back together into my list.
Oh, he said list? Is that cognitive dissonance? Is he stupid enough to say that he has a list? Man, I wouldn't recommend. People are gonna be very aggressive on that one.
So my list now
your list becomes an array, right?
9.
Bro, you already made 4 swaps. What the fuck are you doing with your life?
So hopefully I've moved some of the smaller numbers from the right side to the left side.
Oh man, I'm hoping that happened too, buddy. So why is there's overall retardation of Americans, right? Where does it come from? Mobbing. They think they can beat me. They think they can beat a high IQ person. I don't know, man. I don't know. If we play chess, the number of opponents does not matter to me. If I know many things about chess and I know many tricks and many principles, I'm gonna beat your ass. Except I don't actually play chess, because that's a stupid game. I like watching it. It looks kind of cool when you watch it. Alright, bud, keep swapping. You didn't complete your job. I would have done my job already.
10. Okay, so
I'm exaggerating a little bit. I don't know where this is going right now,
half my gap size.
unfortunately.
So I put it back together.
How does he know what elements to pick? You know? He also has to, like, compare these two together with each other. Of like, oh, this is bigger. This is smaller. Alright, so here's the fucking kicker. Alright, here's what breaks the world record. And again, every time the world record gets broken, it usually feels like we just found something more simpler. This guy is working, man. This guy's working his ass off. In order to actually explain my sorting method, I will not need 3 minutes. But you need to understand what insertion sort is, because I already forgot and I don't care. Maybe it can be explained by someone else. Here's the breakdown. Start with sorted list. Why you say list? What is wrong with you? Get a life. Iterate through the remaining sorting elements. So technically you're going forward and you're leaving behind the smallest number. That's the best way I can describe it. Best case, my friends. That's what we want to look at, right? We just want to fix some errors that happened by accident. Let me reveal you. This is like the worst example imaginable. There's not even a good example of like truly difficult data to sort for my algorithm. Create a list with min-max values in mind. But first, let's create a list of 1,000 elements or whatever is good enough, right? Whatever feels good enough. Let's say 10 times more elements than the current. Okay, so it would be 100 empty elements. We have to start somewhere. Then you take the minimum value, the maximum value. If you know them, you don't have to check the values. If you relatively know what the range of values is, congratulations. If there's a hotspot of values, you might want to tinker a few things. So if we're putting values in your number line, it could look like this. It could be like a bump. And then you want to create 2 checks. Again, it has to be dynamic if you want to truly optimize it to like the true maximum speeds. It could still do pretty well, however, without this optimization. So you can choose whether to do this or break this line down like this, where you're going to actually acknowledge that more space is needed over here. Actually, you would break down like there's a hotspot, right? So you have the cold spots that need less amount of space than the hotspot. And again, you have 100 pieces of space. And now that you have space, you can sort. That's it. 1 goes in the 1 space, 2 goes in the 2 space, 3 go in the 3 space. That's it. It's over, bro. You relatively know where the numbers go. The only thing that can possibly happen now is error. And who's gonna fix the error? Insertion sort. Game over, my friends. That is my algorithm. And again, this could make things a little bit faster in case you have a hotspot of values and you can detect it, right? You generally would want to scan the values that you have, relatively understand what's going on. what the minimum and maximum value is, what kind of hotspots you're having, basically. You might want to bucket your information that you have. You might want to have a general view, and you can still, like, do a checkup of, like, okay, how does my data look like? So it's just actually useful thing to do anyways. And then you can use this information to send values to the list. Because you have list of 100 values that are empty, you can send values pretty precisely, and they're gonna have gaps between them. And the moment you're done, and you want to do the insertion sorts, clean the list. Alright? I do all these things, I check the time, it seems to be faster in a relatively sorted 1000 element array. I have not tested on anything else. I don't give a fuck to work my ass off because I don't know what the fuck is going on and how I can actually convince people that I've done something. You know, oh, now you didn't. Nah, bro. I don't care that you have made a fourth video, a fifth video, a sixth video. I don't give a fuck. You didn't do anything, bro. Fuck off. This guy, on the other hand, completely explained what shell sort is, and I have farted myself into not giving a fuck, because this looks stupid. One goes into one area, two goes into two, based on the minimum and maximum values that determined where things should go. And no, we're not talking about bucket sort or some fucking pigeon-hole sort. Like, fuck off, are you stupid? But what is the gap in the pigeon sort? Oh, now you need list? It looks similar. It's not the same thing. Now, I don't know what people do with this. There's some kind of thing going on with, like, the same values. I don't want to know, guys. There's so much brain rot surrounding sorting methods, and you can laugh at me still. You're still gonna fucking do it. Congratulations. Very productive, very smart. All you want to do is just, like, type on your fucking nearest electronic device a counter argument of why farts smell backwards, you know? And unfortunately this time, unless you come to my Discord, you will be ignored. No one's gonna give a fuck. I already pretty much ignored the comment section of this video. So fuck you guys. You know? I don't care. Become a millionaire if you want. Anytime. You know, try to break through this cognitive blockade that people have on having new things. The only new thing that we're having is Nintendo creating a series of scams that we've never seen before. Of like, wow, you did really outdone yourselves, Nintendo. You really know what capitalism is all about. Fuck me in the ass, daddy. They should have called Nintendo Swap. Then I would laugh a little bit harder. Thanks for watching.